Hi, I'm Norman A. Hood, financial advisor and host of the Exit Plan Show. I interview America's top advisors to help business owners enjoy more personal freedom, grow their companies faster, and transition ownership seamlessly when the time comes. Today's guest is Matt Jones. He's with the Legacy Capital Group in Little Rock, Arkansas. Welcome to the show, Matt.
Glad to be here. Thanks, Norm.
Hey, I want to thank you, first of all. You're hosting our location for this interview series. We really appreciate it. It's a great location.
Well, thank you. We're glad to have you here.
And thanks again.
Welcome to Little Rock.
Yeah, great. We've already found a couple of good places to eat here. So, in fact, I think we're not going to leave till Saturday. We like this so well.
That's great. There's lots of good places.
Yeah. So we're going to start out. I'm just going to have you tell our audience a little bit about your background and then your career path up until now.
Well, my background started, I was Arkansas born and raised, went to undergrad at the University of Arkansas, got a finance degree, and then decided that I wanted to be a lawyer, ended up going to law school back in the early 90s. Decided towards the end of my law school that even though I was very glad I'd gotten a law degree, I really thought I wanted to be a trial lawyer, and ultimately decided that wasn't fit for me. So I really started looking at industries and opportunities where I could combine the background of finance education also with the law degree. And got introduced to a friend that had a small wealth management firm, and so I got out in 1994, passed my bar exam, and I've never billed an hour of law, but very glad I went to law school and got that degree, but I've been in the wealth management business since 1994. Okay. I worked for a small local firm and then two very well-known regional firms here locally, and then I left in 1997 to join a guy named Frank McGee, who started our company. He passed away about 10 years ago, but when I left and joined Frank, he had a very boutique, high-end life insurance firm and was really wanting to broaden the services he could offer to his clients to encompass holistic financial planning, wealth management, and asset management. And so I left an investment banking firm here locally in 1997 and joined Frank, and we changed the name of our company to Legacy Capital Group in 1997. So here we are, 18 years later.
Wow, good. You and I just met. We've talked on the phone a couple times. I think Lisa actually, Morconi,
yes, that's correct,
introduced us. How do you think the people that know you the best would describe you personally?
That know me best. Passionate would definitely be a word. Very focused, and I think caring. I believe that when you work in the business we do, there's a lot of skills, technical skills that are helpful, but ultimately people want to work with someone that they can engage with and they feel really cares about their situation. And I think my passion probably shows both in my love for what I do, but also the fact that we really care for the people that we work with and serve.
Okay. So can you tell us a little bit more about the wealth management services you offer at Legacy Capital?
Absolutely. So we describe ourselves to clients and advisors as a boutique, high-end, holistic wealth management firm. And I think a lot of people hear all that and they go, wow, that's a mouthful. And it is, but we believe that all of those words are very important to what we do. We're boutique in the sense that we're not a firm with several thousand employees. We have 4 offices in 2 states, and we feel like we have enough resources to be able to cater and deliver the services to our clients, but we're not beholden to some other company in New York or in California that's really dictating us how we need to operate and run our business and advise our clients. So that's the boutique side. The holistic is that we really try to sit down and work with our clients and understand the totality of their situation, not just their financial assets, but we want to understand what's going on with their family, what's going on with their business. We primarily work with very successful entrepreneurs, many of which have large private companies that might have 1, 2, or 3 generations involved in them. Some of them have been around for 3 or more generations. And so when we say holistic, we really want to get a broad picture of everything about this client's situation. And I think when you do what we do, especially on the estate and wealth transition planning from one generation to the next, the emotional and philosophical issues oftentimes trump the financial issues. The financial issues, quite frankly, can be pretty easy sometimes to solve, but understanding how to treat two kids that you love uniquely, but yet differently in terms of how you do things can often be challenging. So that's the holistic component. We say high end. There's a lot of different firms out there that cater to a lot of different clientele that have great business models. We say high end because our clients are generally fairly affluent. So the typical net worth range that our firm gets involved in is entrepreneurs with businesses worth at least $10 million, and we have some up into the hundreds and a few in the billions. That doesn't make our practice better than ones that work under that. It just makes the resources and the skill sets and the people that we have to have be a little bit different. So that's really where the high end comes from. And then, I use the term wealth management, and you hear that a lot. Our general opinion is that most firms that say they're in the wealth management business, we believe are in some facet of the wealth management business. They may be in the insurance business, they may be retirement planners, they may be in the asset management business, but we believe when we use the term wealth management, we need to be able to understand and offer advice on the totality of our client's balance sheet. That means understanding the types of businesses that they own. Are they C corporations? Are they S corporations? Are they partnerships or LLCs? If they have complex trust structures, what are the nature of those trusts? Who's involved in those? And understanding what the liability side of their balance sheet looks like. Most of our clients have forgotten more about their businesses than we'll ever know, so we're not there to tell them how to operate it.
Right.
But we feel like the better we understand how their business functions, how it's owned, what their risks are, what their opportunities are, it provides us an opportunity to give them better counsel.
Okay. Is there any one thing you like to do more than anything else? I mean, you obviously have a lot going on that you manage, but is there a particular area you like to spend most of your time on?
Absolutely. That's an easy question, and I was doing it this morning. I was in the office. I had a father and a son, first and second generation, who own a substantially large automotive operation, and we were spending a lot of our time talking around some of the issues they have with estate planning, and they're now talking about the grandkids. And it's a lot of times easy when it goes from G1, generation one, to generation two, where there may be 1, 2, or 3 kids, and it's pretty easy to decide how to handle that. I think when you start looking at transferring significant wealth down beyond that second generation, many times you're often working in the business and active and productive. So some of those decisions are easy from generation 1 to generation 2. But when you begin talking about generation 3, or even at generation 2, when maybe you have one child that's not in the business and 2 that are, how do you equalize that? And so I think one of the things I really enjoy is talking about the non-financial aspects of both managing wealth, stewarding wealth, and transitioning wealth.
Okay.
And those are, there's no black and white answers to most of that. Every client's situation and family is unique.
Okay, so you just have to get to know them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Last question. If you could give business owners a tip in any one of these areas, how to enjoy a little more freedom, get away from their company, not spend all their time there, grow their company faster, transition ownership either to the next generation or to a third-party sale, or one thing we run into a lot now is business owners having a hard time redefining their purpose after they leave their company. They're not kind of, you probably run into that a lot.
Yes.
If you could give them one tip in any of those 4 areas, what do you think the tip would be?
One of the things I think I enjoy doing and is helping clients who've been in a business a very long time figure out how to shift their role and their responsibility and their purpose.
Okay.
I think most clients realize that at some point they're going to pass or become physically or mentally incompetent to manage their operations, and they may or may not have children involved. And so I think some of the best advice I tell people is, while you're still healthy, while things are going really, really well, start developing a transition plan, whether that's with your family, and just because someone's your blood relative doesn't always mean they're the ideal person to take over and run your business. Doesn't mean they can't be involved. We've had families very successfully bring in outside executives to help run or to run the company. But I would say, I think the longer runway you give yourself to make these decisions versus something tragic happens and now you've got to make a very significant decision in a very short amount of time often puts you in a very difficult situation. So my short answer to all of that is I would be thinking about it well in advance, 5 to 10 years in advance of what you would like that to look like ideally when that time arrives, and start taking the steps today to have your business prepared for that.
Okay, good answer. Yeah. Great interview. That was Matt Jones. He's with Legacy Capital Group. For more information about Matt and his company, please check out the show notes for this episode on our website.